George Harrison's 24 greatest guitar moments. In remembrance of George Harrison's November 29, 2001 death, we give a guide to his greatest studio guitar moments with the Beatles. Robben Ford, who was in Harrison's 1974 touring band, Steve Lukather, Bernie Marsden, Mike Campbell, and Nita Strauss's father, James Strauss, all signed to Harrison's Dark Horse Records in the mid-70s. In today's video, we will discuss George Harrison's top 24 guitar moments. But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a big thumbs up. Number 1. Help. Andy Summers' Police. Early on, I think youthful players were intrigued by George playing on Help. I remember hearing those descending phrases and thinking, that's pretty cool, where did he get that from? He did the same sort of thing in Here Comes the Sun. He had a really beautiful style, especially on those kind of lines. Number 2. Babies in Black. Babies in Black includes booming Everly Brothers style singing from John and Paul. Thus, it took me a while to notice George's guitar's work. I made wonderful discoveries when I focused on the lead guitar. Lots of whammy bars. George follows chord changes with repetitive single string whammy bar dips in the last breakdown verse. The song guitar motif ends with a whammy dip. As is often the case with Beatles things, creativity lies in hooks, melodies, and tones. George has a strong country/western tone. I want a cowboy hat and a Fender amp. Both are mine, possibly a Gretsch or a Bixby on my Ibanez. Number 3. Free as a Bird. Tommy Emmanuel. George learned early to invent the right song parts and stick to them. He chiseled and refined, chose the appropriate guitar, and put love, knowledge, and disciplined fire into every song. Funny, my favorite George passages and solos are on Free as a Bird and Real Love. John Lennon penned most of these iconic tunes, and Paul, George, and Ringo polished them. So musical and passionate. George's delectable strat parts are what the track needs. Number 4. Nowhere Man. Robben Ford. Great solo. It is one of the best chord/melody solos in rock history. John Harrington said, "It's an orchestrated solo with two similar sounding guitars. I love how the solo borrows the song's rhythm, yet changes the notes. The guitars, strats according to accounts, are processed to create super bright, wacky sounds, and the solo breaks up the singing while maintaining the song's identity and groove." Number 5. Something. Warren Haynes from Government Mule. A song is a masterpiece, but the guitar solo was another. It's essential to the music. Government Mule recently played it during one of our special New Year's Eve gigs, along with other Abbey Road and Let It Be songs. Connor Kennedy joined us on guitar and vocals. At rehearsal, he asked, "Should I do the solo?" I said, yes, and he played it note for note. He played his own solo, which was cool, but the crowd and band heard the record solo. Sign of a great solo. Number 6. Savoy Truffle. Joey Santiago from Pixies. The mix is about the dentist. The guitar tone, possibly distorted, sounds like a drill, the bending, stabbing notes in, but you'll have to pluck them all out to evoke a dentist drill. I borrowed his bending, stabbing notes and won't return them soon. Even with the haze, it's Harrison's wording. He has the George Harrison sound. Although identifying the guitars by phrase is rare, Eric Clapton's solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps mimics George's technique. Number 7. Strawberry Fields Forever. Nels Cline from Wilco. The guitar solo that brings in Strawberry Fields Forever's lengthy coda has retained magical and mythical sway over me since my brother and I spun the song. We'd replay the music to relive that moment. It's unreplaceable, life-changing, galvanizing. Number 8. Till There Was You. Andy Timmons. George's solo is lyrical, and he nails the chord changes. I can't fathom another rocker in 1963 performing so creatively. It helped him craft great solos. There's a great clip of the band playing a song for the Queen, and George nails the solo while looking about. Number 9. Let It Be. Chris Shiflett from Foo Fighters. The solo, the way his lick comes in after the keyboard breakdown, strikes the ideal feeling and uplift for the music. I've stoned it a million times and probably will again. The tone is rough, without a safety net, and mixed over the melody, warts and all, it's great. Number 10, And Your Bird Can Sing. Aaron Lee Tasjan. The lead guitar part's ambition and haphazard execution delight me. George stated he couldn't remember if John or Paul played the other part, but I adore how mysterious it is. When I hear it, it feels like something out of thin air, so it intrigues me that George, who always seemed smart, was the channel for it. John later criticized parts of the lyrics, but I adore them. I'll always listen for the guitar work, always makes me smile. Number 11, One After 909, Wayne Krantz. The solo was melodic with a spontaneous flow, dead-on phrasing, and a beautiful segue into the bridge's outstanding rhythm and fills. The groove puts the rock and roll and propels the music. George. Number 12, I Saw Her Standing There, Steve Lukather. This solo was the on-switch to my life, as was seeing them on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. When I got my first guitar and Meet the Beatles, it transformed my life. His solos and parts are modest by today's standards, yet they're unforgettable. Number 13, Dig a Pony. Dig a Pony sums up George's guitar wizardry, says Kevin Starr's Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Always serving the song, never flashy. I adore his early playing, but this shows his improvement in maturity. Once the first verse starts, Harrison drops out, allowing Lennon's voice and rhythm playing to lead the song. Instead of doubling the rhythm, George plays lead lines between the vocals. Number 14, I'm Only Sleeping, Nita Strauss. The music world thinks of George Harrison as a wonderful songwriter, but he's underestimated as a tone developer. I recall reading a GW article back in January 2014 about I'm Just Sleeping and how George acquired this odd tone by creating the solo, learning it backward and then recording it with the tape running back to front. It's interesting to imagine getting those tones in an analog studio. So far, we have shared 14 of George Harrison's greatest guitar moments already in the video. Have you heard your favorite George Harrison guitar moment yet? Let us know in the comments section below. Number 15, All My Loving. I always listen to George and practice as much as my fingers could take, says Bernie Marsden. I'd play guitar along with the album to hear George play All My Loving until There Was You. The solo on All My Loving features characteristics of Chet Atkins and Scotty Moore. I mastered the last lick, which swings beautifully in the song. Okay, mastering might be overstating myself at age 12, but it helped me realize I could make the guitar sound like George, and that influenced me greatly. Number 16, Here Comes the Sun. It's impossible to find a more beautiful, classic, guitar-oriented piece that embodies its composer so thoroughly, and it is a global hit song cherished by billions of people. George Harrison's tune, lyrics, fingerpicking, and voice are 100% musical. I adore Don't Bother Me and his work with the Traveling Wilburys, but Here Comes the Sun is amazing. Number 17, I, Me, Mine, Aaron Jones. This is George's purest artistic expression. On this tune, his guitar playing recalls Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson. Here, George Harrison shows why he's one of music's greatest by reviving rock. Number 18, It's All Too Much, Tash Neal. I love the scary feedback intro. The beginning guitar riff is strong and swaggering. I love the beat, and George's lyrics are spiritual. The song should be more popular. Number 19, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, Lily Hyatt. Bright, light, and achy, it showcases all the George I love, hinting at what's to come. He's doing things that make the Beatles sound alien. Number 20, Got to Get You in My Life, David Grissom. Revolver was the first LP I owned, and I remember Taxman's Count Off like it was yesterday. This song started my love affair with the guitar. 150's lick gives me chills. That Vox mid-range and George's bluesy double stop bend on the second and fourth strings are perfect. Number 21, Dear Prudence, Samantha Fish. Even though George is featured subtly, he contributes to the song's never-ending build-up. It is one of my favorites because it's interconnected components. George's guitar playing had dynamics and individuality. Beautiful tune. Number 22, Day Tripper. Steve Morse from Dixie Dregs and Deep Purple. George's riff predated strong guitar music like Led Zeppelin, but it sounded powerful, doubled, and slightly distorted. George's effectiveness comes from the hanging back and waiting for a voice hole to fill. You can hear that on live tapes. He wasn't always playing full volume or full force. He picked the optimum spot to come in with a beautiful riff. Number 23, The End, Jimmy Herring, Widespread Panic. the first thing that comes to me is the earth-shattering, wonderful stuff George plays on the end after the lyrics. And in the end, the love you receive is equal to the love you make. His attractiveness shines in the outro. It always gives me goosebumps. I could say that about a million different things he played. Number 24, Within You, Without You. John Scofield. This was my introduction to fake Indian music and some of the sounds we use. As a guitarist, I imitated the sitar's string bending sounds. This pointed a lot of kids to authentic Indian music, which I've never explored. It's a beautiful melody we still quote. So, this was all for the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Also, tell us what your favorite Harrison guitar moments are in the comment section below. See you in the next one. Bye for now.